We're live.
All right. Super Hunt 2024. Mason Bush, Ben Sheets. It is what? Friday, 10:35 a.m. We got up. We had a good breakfast. We had some doings last night, and I know Ben just got in this morning. Mason, you weren't privy to the coon hunt last night.
I was not. I was sleeping.
But I do.
Ben woke me up coming in.
Yeah, I did.
I do want to tell you that Tank had a coon about 3 miles from where we turned him loose.
Nice.
And I handed Joey my gun. And I said, here, Mason says this thing isn't sighted in, but go ahead and shoot that coon if you want to knock it out. And one shot, coon's out. He says, what do you mean it ain't sighted in? I said, I don't know. It's just what Mason told me when he was trying to kill that black squirrel yesterday.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Sounds like operator error to me.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think too, man. You want to tell that story while we're on here,
No,
Mason?
no.
I'm interested to hear this story.
So we're driving around camp, and I was showing Mason all the stuff that we hunt and all that stuff, and this black squirrel crossed the field road right in front of us. And I said, hey, look, this first black squirrel I've seen down there, ever. And so I get my 22 out, and Mason, he can see a squirrel, so I know his eyes work. And he goes to shooting at it, and he says, man, this gun's off. I'm deadly with a 22.
No, whoa. Somebody else went to shooting to begin with and missed it. Put a whole clip in it and missed it every time. Then I missed.
First of all, I never claimed to be deadly with a 22, one. Second of all,
I'm deadly with my 22.
I couldn't see the squirrel either.
I could see
I
a
was
squirrel.
just shooting around in there trying to get him to move. So he gets done. He says this gun's not sighted in, yada, yada, yada. So I get an old energy drink can out of my truck, and I put it out there about 25 yards, and I pull up right through the energy can, dead center, right where I was aiming. And Mason says, that's just a fluke. But no, we had fun yesterday. I thought maybe we got Ben here, we got Mason here, we'd sit down and we'd explain exactly what we got going on here. I don't know how well we can explain it in the time period that we have, but we're going to do our best.
I don't know.
But we're going to start out because we're going to get a lot of viewers that are just like, because once this thing takes off on YouTube, we had this last year. What are y'all doing? What's going on here? This is a competition raccoon hunt. Short story, short version, amended version is we turn dogs loose. We score them on their ability and the handler's ability to call what that dog's doing. And the winner is determined at the end of what we call a cast. And we cast, this hunt is 3 dogs. And in this hunt, we have the 2023 UKC United Kennel Club World Champion, which would be Snooky's Cookie. And the 2023 PKC World Champion, which would be Joey Craver and Tank. And then the Pro Sport Dog of the Year, which is John Strickland and Randy Smith with Lady. We're going to take all 3 of them dogs. We're going to put them together. It is a cast, which, like I said, we call it a cast, but it's a 2-hour cast. And we will run all 3 rule sets for 40 minutes each, which sounds complicated, and it kind of is, considering that hopefully our judge, Jed Finley, knows the UKC rules. Because we do not.
Does he know any of the rules?
He may not. He just makes them up and acts like he knows the rules. And so it's going to be interesting. We did it last year. We've revamped it this year to make it better. We've got Mason here. We've got Ben here. So we've got 3 quality cameras in the woods. We've got our panel in the woods, that's who, if there is a question on any of the calls the judge makes, the panel will rule. The woods are a little wet and damp, but should be good. And so I'm excited. I mean, I think it's going to be a good time. What do you got? You guys got any predictions for this?
None of the 3 are from water. You got a Cookie. She stays up in Indiana. Tanks in eastern Kentucky, up around Ohio. And then Lady's eastern Kentucky.
Or Pennsylvania. You know, she goes from Pennsylvania to Kentucky.
Yep. So it's, I think it's going to be a different atmosphere for all of them. So
Also, all those dogs coming south, it's considerably cooler. Where, you know, right now, where they're all from. So
Yeah, I mean, it was plumb hot yesterday. It was 80, 84, 85 degrees. I know my dogs was out there under the shade still panting. You know, they're just not used to it yet.
They're not the only one. I've been panting too.
Ben, have you ever been down here hunting
No.
before? So, I mean, you're eastern Pennsylvania.
yeah,
So,
this
I
is
mean,
vastly different than
Yes.
hunting where I'm at.
Yeah, and so it's going to be, there's a learning curve. We found that out last night. We turned Snooky and Tank loose last night, which I've got a little bit of footage of that folks will be able to see too. But Tank was a little over 3 miles from where we cut him in about 25, 30 minutes.
Wow.
And we could not hear all the doings. But I've been hunting here for about 14 or 15 years now. Echo did the same exact thing last year.
Yeah.
Turned loose at about the same spot, opened up at about the same spot, and probably ran the same boar hog that Tank ran last night. Tank's never been around hogs.
Yeah,
And
like you said, you're hunting 3 northern dogs that are not used to hogs, armadillos.
yeah, yep. And there's a variety of game here that's not going to be available where they're at. You can look out this fence right now and see fallow deer and red stag and
Emu.
yeah, there's an emu out there that bothered my pup barking at. And so it's going to be a little different. So I don't know. Who do you think? You guys have got to pick a winner.
I just think the style. I'm gonna go with Tank.
Oh.
Just his style, and like I said, he may be like Echo from last year,
You know,
and be out of pocket, like you said he done last night. But just out of the 3, I think this is more of a wipeout type country. This is,
oh my God, here he goes.
and I hunt a mojo dog.
Barry Kitty Jr. over here.
I
It's
hunt
always wipe out this, wipe out
No,
that. Going
man.
with the wipe out dog.
No, he's disowned me. I hunt a mojo dog. So, but I just think this is gonna be more of his type of country.
He's out of an ex-junior female, though, so you're really hunting my stuff and my brother's stuff.
Whoa! I'm hunting Jeremy's stuff.
He don't got none of it no more. I got it all. He was smart.
Jeremy and Jess Dickerson stuff.
Yeah, I think they're both hunting mojo dogs.
Yep. Jess just bought a litter mate to mine.
Yeah. No, it is a good pup. He's a good pup. Where'd he get that one?
He didn't say.
Yeah.
But he did say that he called me just a few weeks ago and told me he
Yeah.
bought a litter mate to mine.
What about you, Ben? You got any predictions for tonight?
I'm just gonna guess Strickland and Lady.
Yeah.
You know, they've been on a roll. They've won a lot of different places. Maybe not necessarily like this, but I don't know.
Strickland hears this, his head's not gonna fit in this room.
Oh no, it wasn't. That ain't gonna make no difference anyway. It was already big to begin with. But you look, Lady's been, which they've all hunted everywhere. Tank wasn't in Mississippi a couple weekends ago. I don't think, was he?
I don't think so.
Strickland was. I think did he get in? He got beat.
He got beat.
So, I mean, there's plenty of water down there
Yeah.
whenever they were hunting down there. And the terrain's going to be very similar. We're hunting a large flatwoods bottom. There is water in it. There is about a 20-acre cutover in it that we're going to try to avoid. But it's mostly pretty open timber with ankle-deep water. You know, you're going to be, splash. There's going to be a lot of splashing around on the camera, but it won't be bad walking. And there are a lot of coons, but it's also late February. Mm-hmm. Even though the weather's right, these coons are still doing funny stuff. They're only moving certain times of the night. I know we've hunted down here all week. We've had nights where we'll tree 3 or 4 coons real quick and then it all falls off. We'll have nights where we struggle for a couple hours and then all of a sudden we go to treeing coons when they get to hitting the ground. So
Another thing, that moon's gonna be bright.
yes, yeah, it will be.
It should be full tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be a full moon, bright, clear. Cool down. It is supposed to cool down into the 40s, I think, which would be pretty good.
Good weather.
Yeah. So I don't know. What else do we need to explain to these folks on what we got going on here?
So how, when there's a 40 minutes, you said 40 minutes for each rule set. Mm-hmm. When that changes over, how does that change if things are already in process? Like
Any call made after the changeover applies to those rules. Any call made before. Say you have, what are the tree times? I know it's 5 minutes in Pro Sport, or 3 minutes in Pro Sport, 3 minutes in PKC, 3 minutes in UKC. Okay, so that's not going to make a difference. Stationaries are different, I believe. It's 5 minutes in PKC. I
Still
think it's
6 in Pro
6
Sport.
in Pro Sport.
I don't know about UKC.
Yeah, and so say it's getting ready to go from PKC to Pro Sport, and your stationary's running. and there's 4 minutes gone on your stationary when it breaks over into the next rule, you immediately go to a 5-minute stationary. So if
Okay.
your stationary starts at minute 39, you're going to lose a minute, you know, because we want them rules to immediately change as soon as the 40 minutes starts.
What if there is a pending tree?
Well, all the tree scores, all the calls made at that time are what they're going to be scored. So say back in the day, it would have made a difference if PKC was at 100 and UKC was at 125. But say you're getting ready to tree your dog and it's getting ready to switch over to UKC, you'll want to wait. Because if you make that call before the switch, you know, the pending trees are going to be scored when the call's made.
Okay.
So, but yeah, this is the third time I've done this. The first time we did it was with Lane Denny and Kevin Cable. And that was that was just the PKC and UKC World Champions.
Okay.
And so that was an hour and an hour. We only had 2 dog casts. And I remember Cable, because we started with PKC rules, and his dog got treated about 58 minutes left to go, or 58 minutes gone in the cast. And he waited until immediately the UKC rules started so he could get that 125. And so, yeah, there's some handler stuff that's going to
Yeah.
happen there.
Definitely.
Yeah. But the rule sets are so similar now, you know, there's not a lot of difference between the three, which I'm not a fan of, to be honest.
I know UKC is different as far as the countdown, and if you come into a tree late.
If you come in, I believe UKC, you will get 75 for the first minute. And then, or no, first 2 minutes.
I think at first two.
Yeah, first 2 minutes. If anything that comes in after the first 2 minutes, it comes in the last minute of the tree comes in for 25. And so for 2 minutes, it can go 125, 75, and 50, since we got 3 dogs. But after that 2 minutes on the tree, it's 125, 25, 25, if all 3 dogs are there. But the odds of these dogs treeing together are
Slim.
pretty slim. I wouldn't think with
Yeah.
these 3. I mean, you never know. They could hit a hot coon out of the truck and tree together.
Like you said, out of the truck maybe.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think
Yeah.
you're right.
I've hunted with all 3 of them, and I've never seen one of the 3 on a tree with another dog.
No,
so.
I haven't either. No, well, I haven't hunted with. Last night was the first night I hunted with Cookie. I've hunted with Tank a couple times and Lady a bunch, and yeah, they're not. They're not going to. But what is one of the big rules is going back to a tree. In UKC, I believe there's 0 punishment, and you can go back as many times as you want.
Yep.
In PKC, you don't get 125 minus. You just get deleted, and the third time you're scratched. And in pro sport, you go back, you eat 125 minus, and then you go back again, you're scratched.
Yep.
And so going back to a tree, which we wouldn't think any of these would do it, but Lady just did it 3 weeks ago.
Do you say in PKC you don't get 125?
I don't think so.
You do.
In PKC?
Yeah, they just changed it.
They've changed it so fast, can't keep
Yeah.
track of them.
Yeah, they changed it in
So
October.
that's the same. So in UKC then,
You can go back 100 times.
yeah, you can go back as many times as you want. I actually won a cast like that one time. Treated a coon for 225 out of the truck and then just kept letting him go back to where nobody could hear anything else for about an hour.
Were they ready to strangle you?
Yeah, they were pretty mad at me. They were pretty mad at me. But, yeah.
But yeah, they just changed it. So PKC and Pro Sport's both the same.
Okay.
I know each dog, in Pro Sport, each dog that goes back, they all get 125, where
Yeah.
there's like a countdown in PKC.
Yep. Which doesn't make any sense.
But you do it twice.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you
Yep.
do it twice, you're done anyway. And really,
What about this? Dog goes, makes a tree. You're on UKC rules. You went back to it 3 times. It changes to it changes to PKC rules. You let them go back once and then
once
scratch.
you go back once. No, it's PKC rules now. So now it's you go back the first time you're 125. You go back the second time you're scratched.
Gotcha.
So they can go back 5 times. So in the event that the minute we switch over to UKC rule or from UKC to PKC, because it will go UKC, Pro Sport, PKC in that order.
Okay.
We will start with UKC rules, get them out of our system, and then go into Pro Sport rules after the second 40 minutes. And then PKC will be last because that is the only one with a leash lock. And if you're going to leash lock someone, the last 40 minutes would be the time to do it. You know, that's when them dogs are getting spread out, and they have a chance of all 3 being treated at the same time. And so we figured if we didn't want the leash lock in the middle. We didn't want the leash lock at the beginning. Have the leash lock available at the end. Which last year it never came into play.
What about as far as the cast staying together? Pro Sport's the only kennel club that has that rule that the cast has to stay together at all times.
Yes, actually, you're right. And so what we'll do is go Pro Sport. I had this wrote down somewhere, but it is Pro Sport, UKC, then PKC.
Okay.
So for the first 40 minutes, the cast has to stay together.
So what you're saying we're just going to wing it.
Yeah, we're going to wing it, like we do, like we do. I do actually have a whole bullet point list somewhere on my computer of little tidbits of information that I probably should have printed out and stuck over here on how we're going to do it. But yeah, it is going to be cast will stay together for the first 40 minutes, and then we can split up 2 trees in UKC and Pro Sport. Now in UKC, you can't leave while a tree is being scored. I do know that. Okay. Like say ladies in here treeing, and Tank is treed over here just a couple hundred yards, and we're scoring lady's tree during that 8 minutes, then they can't leave. If you do, it's a scratchable offense. And I know that because I seen a guy get scratched for it one night. I would have too. Nathan Myers did it. But yeah, the guys that we were hunting against really knew that rule because he was beating the brakes off all of us, and he went over the hill and got scratched. And so yeah, while trees are being scored, the UKC guys, or during UKC rules, you have to stay there until the tree's scored. But as far as I know, you can go to your dogs and wait. So yeah, with just 3 dogs in the woods, with 3 cameras in the woods, we got a camera for each dog just in case that situation does come where they get split up. And that worked out really well last year because we had 1 camera with Stogie while we were going to Echo, and the viewers could see what was going on at Stogie's tree while we were making the 3-mile walk to Echo's tree. So it's kind of neat when that happens, especially when you got 3 good cameras and you can get all that footage and get everybody to see it good and all that stuff. So
Definitely.
But yeah, anything else we need to let people know about? What do you guys think of the ranch?
It's nice.
Beautiful.
You know, I know Ben just got to get here today. We'll take a good tour. I know there's emus and red stags and everything out the fence. Chirp, the fallow deer woke me up this morning making that god-awful noise they made.
I'd like to have a couple of these whitetails on my wall.
Yeah,
no kidding.
There's some good ones. We'll get some footage of camp to plug in right here, of the lodge and where all these hunters are staying and stuff like that. And let everybody see everything. So
Let's go see my lodge
where's it at?
in Crockett. Holiday Inn.
The Holiday Inn Express. We just let the good people get the good motel rooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, my lodge is parked out here behind, so I don't want to hear about it. I'm sleeping in it. All right. Yeah, we're going to get some more coverage done. We're going to get all the stuff that we need done. I know it's getting close to ordered lunchtime, even though we all just ate breakfast. We'll probably give that a little bit. And, yeah, keep it coming for everybody. So anything you guys want to add?
Looking forward to it.
Let's go coon hunting.
It's going to be fun. All right. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.